Okay, let's see where this goes. Hello Sparrows and welcome back to Green-Eyed Starlet. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Brandy and I'm working to live a life worth living through art, movement, and exploration. Or so I thought. Hi guys, so I just want to warn you about what you're getting yourself into by watching this video. This is going to be a deep dive into my psyche, completely unscripted, and a little bit of an existential crisis, which if you know me or if you've been on my channel for a while, you know I've made a few of these videos, so buckle up. So I think it was about 2 weeks ago that I posted a video about productivity versus relaxation, and that's kind of where all of this started, I guess. I mean, I guess this really all started due to quarantine and what we're living in. But making that video really opened some doors and really opened some windows, I don't know, into my mind and into how I'm feeling right now. And I gotta say, it's not my highest point. Basically, I want to talk to you guys today about self-worth and redefining who we are as an individual. And I guess if that sounds interesting to you, then please give this video a big thumbs up and keep watching, because that's where we're going to talk about what I just said. I don't know what's happening right now. Okay, so let's start with self-worth, because we gotta start somewhere, and that was the first thing that came to mind. So I talked about in that productivity versus relaxation video that sometimes I feel like my self-worth is directly tied and attached to everything that I achieve, everything I accomplish, everything that I do. I feel like that makes me the person that I am. That makes me worthy of happiness and worthy of joy and all this other stuff that, you know, humans want and desire in life. And that creates a very negative hole where I feel like I just have to go, go, go all the time and make sure that I'm producing or making or working on something at all times, because if I'm constantly working, then I'm constantly enough. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. And that can lead to things like burnout, which I didn't think I was experiencing, especially right now. I know I have experienced burnout in the past. I know I have, but I didn't think I was experiencing burnout right now, but I'm kind of thinking and looking at some of the signs of burnout and thinking maybe I'm actually facing burnout right now, but I don't want to. I don't even know what I was talking about before I got to this point, so like, I mean, maybe I felt this way for my entire lifetime. I'm not really sure about, you know, being productive or anything. And like, maybe if I had a therapist or someone who was knowledgeable in the ways of the brain and the human psyche, then they would be able to explain better. But I don't even think that this has anything to do with like my upbringing or my childhood. I honestly think this has to do like strictly with societal norms and everything, because I mean, I did IB in high school, which pushes kids way further than I think it should be. Like, I mean, maybe it was just me, maybe that's the way my brain works, but IB was hard. If you're in the International Baccalaureate program right now and you're struggling, especially with everything that's going on right now, but if you're just struggling, period, like, trust me, you're not alone. I've been there. Multiple people have been there. That program was very hard, but I'm very grateful for it at the same time, because I was working towards something that really helped me out in the long run. I graduated college in 3 years, and that's beside the point. But I don't know where this need and this desire to like go, go, go has always come from, and I want it to leave, you know, because like for someone like me, this quarantine really should have been kind of like a blessing in disguise. Like, don't get me wrong, we've talked about everything that's happening externally and how bad it is, and things are very wrong with systems and structures, especially in America. Hi. Yeah, that can of worms I'm not touching. But this quarantine specifically, this like stay-at-home order for me specifically, just on a me basis, should have been a blessing in disguise, as the fact that I am a chronic repeater of the phrase, I just don't have enough time, because I load my plate up sky high and then, you know, stress out about the fact that I've said yes to 93 things, and then I'm like, I can't do 93 things. I don't know where this work ethic came from, and in a lot of ways I'm grateful for some of the things that it has brought me and the work ethic in some degree that it has brought me, because I am very grateful of where I am in life, both career-wise and personally and all of that. But I think that it's time for a shakeup. I think that I've gotten stuck or content in being discontent. I'm just throwing things out there. Let me readjust here to get more comfy. So yeah, I think that a lot of my time spent during this quarantine has kind of been like, I just want this to be over. I just want everything to go back to normal. And I'm like, what is normal? And what normal am I running back to? And I think that is a very big question that we all should be asking ourselves right now. Like, what are we so eager to get back to? You know, because like, it's not like our lives have ended. It's not like we're in, you know, just this tiny little bubble where all we can do is throw a ball against the wall or, you know, something like that. Like, we have a lot of things at our fingertips still. Like, we can still be making things. A lot of us are still working, like, and like, this is what my brain is like, guys. Aren't you glad your brain doesn't work like mine? And if your brain does work like mine, I am so sorry. We should create a support group, honestly, because it's rough. And I know it seems like I'm making fun of this whole situation, but one, that's how I cope. A lot, just to be clear. And two, these are my emotions, and while they may seem, you know, personal and stupid and first world to some of people, all emotions should be worthy of validation, no matter what the emotion is, unless you like want to go kill someone, and I guess that's not an emotion at that point, that's just a thought, and so maybe not all thoughts should be validated, but all emotions should be validated. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. Like, people are gonna be watching this video and think, wow, she has lost it. Like, she's one step closer to shaving her head. Britney Spears crazy. Maybe she was onto something. I mean, honestly, I'm using this video as kind of like a coping mechanism, a venting period to you guys, but also like I'm kind of hoping that at least one of you out there hears what I'm saying and maybe feels the same way, and then we can help each other go through all of this, because that's the biggest thing. Is I think in my videos I like to say a lot like, I just want you guys to know that you're not alone, but it also is for me truly to not feel that like what I'm feeling is an alienated thought. Like, what I'm feeling is also felt by other people and I'm not alone myself. And so like, it really is important for us all to know that we aren't alone. Like, I was texting my best friend in the entire world earlier and I was just like, yeah, I'm having some self-worth issues. And she like completely understood. Like, she 100% came back at it and was like, yeah, me too. And I think it's bad because a lot of us are going, I just want things to go back to normal so I can go back to work. But I'm like, is going back to work what makes us who we are? You know what I mean? Like, at our core is going back to work and having something to do for 8 hours a day to distract us from whatever else. Is that what we're running back to? Is that what we want? And I'm not making a bold statement on work, but like, I've made the joke time and time again that I'm a workaholic. I think it's a funny joke and based in some reality, for sure, but like, why do I think it's funny? Why do I think that valuing work over enjoyment or pleasure is a good thing? And that's something I want to examine. If you're a licensed therapist, please hit me up. Yeah. So that kind of segues me into the second part of what I wanted to talk about today, and that is like redefining who we as an individual are. And I think this is going to be something that we all have to do in very different ways, but I'm kind of addressing the fact, like the thing that I say at the beginning of every single one of my videos, that I'm trying to live a life worth living through art, movement, and exploration. That phrase to me, when I thought of it and was like making my purpose and like journaling and doing all this stuff, when I came up with that phrase, yo, I was on a mountaintop in the sky. I was so happy with that phrase because I had finally felt like I had made something, or like been able to put into words who I was. And like, all of these videos everywhere and all these books are like, you gotta find your purpose, you gotta find your meaning in this world, you gotta find who you really are before you can conquer the world. And I agree, you do have to find yourself at some capacity to understand what you desire, what you want, and where you're going from here. But I also think that we're constantly evolving. So while that phrase before meant so much to me, maybe it doesn't mean anything to me now. And I don't think that it doesn't mean anything to me now. I've kind of thought about this a little bit more already. And I actually think that phrase means more to me now than ever. I've just completely strayed away from that thought. I think that I have gotten so far away from it that I don't really know where to go from here. So I kind of want to go back to ground zero. I want to go back to the foundation of who I am, because I am a huge, huge, huge lover of things like astrology and Myers-Briggs test and the Enneagram test or whatever. And like, I like being like, oh, who am I based off of this test? Or who am I based off of where the stars were when I was born and stuff like that. And if you don't believe in that stuff, that is completely fine and up to you, but I think it doesn't hurt anybody, and I appreciate the knowledge and the wisdom and the guidance that I get from these things, so they help me. So if you never tried them out, highly suggest maybe you go and check them out just to see if you can kind of discover a little bit more of who you are, especially if you have no clue where to start. If anything, you can read through these and see what they say or who they say you are, and you can sit there and be like, yeah, that actually does sound like me. Or you may read them and be like, bish, who you think you is? Because that is not me. I don't know who I am right now. Obviously, I'm just... And if you're watching this video and you're very close to me, like if you're a really good friend of mine or a family member, please know this is not a cry for help. I mean, I need help, but it's not like I'm not in danger, okay? Like I just need to sit down with my own thoughts, which sounds dangerous, and just figure out who I am. I want to figure out my value system and my morals and all of that jazz, because like, I know on a base level, like I'm a good person. Wow, that sounded really pompous. I would like to think, how about that? I would like to think that I'm a very good person. You know, I am very conscious about the ecosystem and the world, and I'm very, very passionate about animal rights and people's rights, but I think I need to go back down, like I said, to ground zero, to my foundation of me, and be like, okay, what do you know? I actually used to do this when I was in high school. I used to have really, really, really bad panic attacks. Now I just have occasional panic attacks. But my anxiety used to be really, really bad in high school. And one of the things that I did, it kind of went into college too, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But one thing that I used to do all the time is in the shower, I would say this out loud too. And I would say, what do you know? What do you know? And I would like go off and tell myself everything that I knew about myself, and like facts about myself in that moment. And facts is, I guess, not the best term for this, because it kind of got a little bit opinion based, but it was about me. So like, it was things that I knew about me. And so I would always start with my name. I was like, my name is Brandy Melana Walker. That is my name. I'm 24 years old. I know how old I am. Stuff like that. And then I would like go from the highest of high, obviously my name, and just go down until I could get lower and lower into my psyche, I guess, like what I wanted, what I desired, stuff like that. I'd like to tell myself who I am, what my career path is, and stuff like that. And that's kind of similar how I got to that catchphrase or opening phrase at the beginning of all my videos. Is I was trying to come up with a phrase mostly for my website, and then it just kind of became like my branding phrase of who I am. And to me, I've always wanted to be an actress. I'm currently a yoga teacher and I love it, and well, not always, but I want to explore the entire world. Like, I want to see the world. So that's where, you know, acting was the art, you know, movement is yoga, and exploration is traveling the world. And when I think of those things, I'm very still much passionate about all of those things. I am really becoming aware of how I relate to acting still, and I'm still kind of coming to terms with what that means, but I'm just really trying to analyze from bottom up, from top down, who am I? What do I want in life? Where do I want to go after this? And I honestly truly think that this is the best time. Like, I don't think I'll ever have a better time where literally the world is on pause. I think that this is a very important time for me to pull the building down, like literally bulldoze the building of Brandy, and just come back down to the foundation and be like, who am I? What do I want? What do I value? And yeah. So I guess that's kind of where I'm at, you know? I actually feel a lot better after ranting to you for the last however long I've rambled to you. I'm sorry. But at the same time, I hope that if you've watched to this point, that you kind of resonated with it. I don't hope that you resonated with it, because I don't want you to be having an existential crisis. But if you are feeling a little bit lost and feeling like this quarantine and stay at home has kind of made you realize that you're not sure what you find joy in, then let me tell you, I'm right there with you. It's hard. I find myself not being able to enjoy little things. Like, do you want to know how many times I've thought to myself and said out loud, I need to like start reading. I have not read a single book while I've been in quarantine, not one. And I love reading. And I have said to myself multiple times like, hey, it would be a really good day to read. Like, it was storming this morning. It was storming like 2 or 3 days ago too. And I was like, this is perfect book reading weather. And I wouldn't let myself, because why? Because I said I had too much stuff to do. And what was that stuff? I don't even know at this point. Like, I honestly don't know what was too much stuff. Like, what did I need to get done? I feel like I always need to get ahead, but I don't. I should get ahead. I'm a procrastinator, workaholic. So like, I'm constantly saying yes to things, waiting till the last second to do them, getting stressed out about them, getting burnt out, and then moving on to the next thing. That's just a vicious cycle that I need to break. So, I don't know what the moral of this video was. I don't know what my own morals are, honestly. But yeah, I guess if I had to try and create like a thesis statement, oh god, I said IB and now I have a thesis statement in my mind. I don't actually remember how to format a proper thesis statement, so, but off topic. If I had to come up with an overall gist for today's video, I would like to say that if you are feeling lost, if you are questioning your self-worth and questioning whether or not you feel happy doing the things that you do, know that you're not crazy. You have just been given too much time with your own brain, which can be a very good thing if you're willing to push through the discomfort and unease and weirdness of change, and if you're willing to evolve. And that is the biggest thing, is if you're willing to evolve. And I think that this, even for me, is going to be a bit of an adjustment, but I think it's necessary. I think I need to, you know, bulldoze the house of Brandy and rebuild from scratch, brick by brick. It's gonna take time, and I think that's part of the process. I think yoga has helped me more than I realize in my life, and I think it's finally, I think seeds that I planted like 3 years ago during my teacher training are starting to bloom now, in the fact that I'm like realizing things that I was definitely taught back then, but realizing them coming into fruition and kind of coming to the surface of who I am and how I think about things. And I think that becoming a yoga teacher, and yoga in general, if you have a yoga practice or if you have a practice of any kind, I think it really teaches us that it is a process, and that life is a process, and that means that it's never complete, it's never perfect, it's always evolving, it's always changing, and it's always getting better, hopefully. I think that's it. Not completely sure if this video made much sense. I hope it did, and I hope that you gained something from this, or it made you start thinking about something. I hope it didn't give you an existential crisis, but if it did, I am very sorry. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, if you enjoyed my existential crisis ramble rant about self-worth and how to redefine who we are as individuals, then please consider giving this video a big thumbs up, because it makes me feel more validated in both my thoughts and my worth, which is another topic for another day. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I post videos every Wednesday and Saturday, sometimes Mondays, and you don't want to miss out on a single one. I love you guys so much. We will get through this. You are worthy of everything that you've ever wanted and ever will have. I love you guys so much. Have a great day, have a great week, and I will see you on Wednesday with a brand new vlog. Bye!